everyone, it's Miss Jess here with day 4 of Pet Week, and today I am joined by a very special guest. This is Diva, and he is a 3-year-old green-cheeked conure. He's got a lot to say this month. Looking at him, you might be able to tell why he is called a green-cheeked conure. He has green feathers on his cheeks, as well as most of his body, but there are also green-cheeked conures that aren't green all over. Diva is mostly green, but he does have maroon tail feathers. He has some gray around his neck and some maroon on his belly, and he also has blue on his wings and some yellow on his shoulders. Though Diva may be pretty small, conures are known for their big bird personalities. So they have a very playful nature and are highly intelligent. These little guys are very mischievous and are very playful, and they will get into anything that they possibly can, especially where they are not meant to be. Because they're so smart, these guys like to have lots of things to do, to play, and to occupy their time with. So that's one of the reasons why, for the majority of the day, Diva spends most of his time on his cage in our living room with the 2 budgies that I have, so that he can play around and see the other birds and be a part of the environment instead of being somewhere where he wouldn't see people or other birds. So we make sure that he gets lots of interaction. And notice that I said on his cage and not in his cage. Diva rarely goes in his cage, except to maybe nap and to play during the day. But instead, he spends most of his time on top of it, playing on his jungle gym, or on top of the budgie's cage, or in the windowsill. So green-cheeked conures and most birds are very social animals, and they like to spend their time with somebody else. Since Diva doesn't have another green-cheeked conure to spend his time with, he likes to spend as much time with people as possible. There's a catch here though. Parrots are usually very particular when it comes to who they will like. So for Diva, he really only wants to be with me or my mom. This is called bonding. Most birds will bond to another bird, but in the case of Diva, he doesn't have another green-cheeked conure to bond to, so instead he'll bond to a person. Sometimes it's just one person, sometimes it's 2. In Diva's case, it is 2, and those are just the people usually that spend the most time with him and who he wants to spend the most time with. In South America, green-cheeked conures live in flocks of 10 to 20, so these guys are very social birds. What? You got a lot to say today. They also really do not like spending any time alone, and Diva definitely lets us know when he's alone and wants some company. He will start screaming, and he has a general noise that he makes to let us know that he is alone and he doesn't want to be. Parrots are often known for their ability to talk. Green cheeks aren't really considered very good talkers, but Diva here seems to be a bit of an exception. He learned quite a few words and phrases over the years that I've had him. Oh, Diva! Diva! Diva also likes to mimic a lot of noises. So he will laugh if somebody laughs, he will cough or sneeze when he hears someone sneeze, and he also makes a sound that we think might be a phone ringing, but not quite accurate. It's not a very good imitation, but he tries his best. Birds are wonderful pets to have. I absolutely love having Diva around, but he can get very loud, especially when he's alone, like I said, and he's very messy. He loves to throw his toys on the floor and he flings his food all over the place, but he also loves to cuddle and is incredibly entertaining. This little guy loves to dance and sing. He is just a great little companion to have, despite the loudness and messiness. He's also a very big commitment. If they are well cared for, green-cheeked conures can live to be over 30 years old. So that's pretty long and a very, very big commitment to have for 30 years. Some larger parrot species actually live to be over 60. Parrots are a really big commitment, and the decision to get one should be thought over long and hard. Diva. When it comes to caring for a green-cheek or any parrot, they're a bit more complex than other animals, such as a cat or a dog. They of course need water, but their water probably needs to be changed daily or maybe multiple times a day. Diva likes to put his food pellets in his water, to make them softer and easier to eat. This will make his water full of pellets, and then it has to be changed. A lot of people think that parrots only eat seeds, and while they do eat seeds, they don't take up most of their diet. They also have to have specialized pellets just for their kind of birds that contain all the nutrients that the parrot needs. They also need to have a variety of fruits and vegetables every day to get everything that they need in their diet. As I said, they're very social, so they need about 2 to 4 hours of socialization every day. This could vary depending on the parrot. Diva gets more than that, I would say. If they don't receive a lot of attention, parrots can, out of boredom, start to pluck out their own feathers. This is just because they're bored and they aren't getting the socialization that they need. And when it starts, it can be really hard to stop, and it can leave the parrot bald in some areas. So they really need a lot of things to play with, they need things to occupy their time, and they definitely need the socialization. If it's not with another bird, it can be with people. The socialization is definitely a big part of caring for a bird. Once or twice a year, parrots do something called molting. Molting is when they shed all of their feathers and they grow new ones. Feathers are made out of the same thing that fingernails and hair are made out of, but while hair and fingernails keep growing, feathers do not. They will reach a full length and then stop growing, and when they get too worn out, this can affect how well a bird flies. So they need to shed their feathers to grow some shiny new ones so that their flight is as best as it can be. And during this time, behavior can really change. This guy gets very sassy and a little grumpy when he is molting. It's pretty easy to tell when they are molting because there will be feathers everywhere. So at least we know if he is going to be a little bit sassier than normal and a little bit moody. So because Diva lives inside, I keep his wings clipped. This just means that I trim off the tips of his primary wing feathers, and those are the feathers that are at the very tips of his wings, and this just makes it so he can't fly up. He can still glide, and he does all kinds of innovative climbing. Come here, good boy, good boy. Yeah, Diva, that's you. So just to make sure that he doesn't fly out the door when that's opened, or into a window while he's flying, we keep his wings clipped. If you look here, these are his wings. If you fold them out, you can see the nice blue feathers here, and those are his primary wing feathers that just get a little clip on the end. You can see some of them are shorter than another, and they actually need to be trimmed because he just went through a molt. That is where we trim his wings, just to make sure that he doesn't hurt himself or get lost. Thank you, Diva. So thank you so much for joining me on day 4 of Pet Week. We have one more video to go. Thank you so much for just joining, for listening, and for meeting this little guy. He's pretty great. He is a handful, and he can be a lot to deal with, especially in the morning when he wakes me up with some very loud screaming because he just wants to get up and seize the day, don't you? Yeah. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you tomorrow for the last video. Bye, guys.